You want power, influence, respect. You want to lead, then listen carefully. Leadership is not about standing the tallest. It's not about being the loudest. It's about knowing who you are when the world pushes back. It's about taking the first step when no one else will. And make no mistake, that first step, it's terrifying. It's lonely, but it's necessary. The world is full of people waiting for permission, waiting for a guarantee, waiting for someone else to go first. Leaders don't wait. They move. They act, they decide, and when they fall, they get back up again and again. Some think leadership is about control. It's not. It's about impact. It's about inspiring people, not forcing them. You don't demand respect, you earn it, one decision, one action, one moment at a time. And here's the truth, leaders are made in the moments no one sees, in the doubts you overcome, in the battles you fight when the spotlight is off. Leadership isn't about being fearless. That's a myth. Fear is real. Uncertainty is real. But leaders move forward anyway. They step into the unknown, knowing they might fail, knowing they might be wrong, but refusing to let that stop them, because hesitation kills more dreams than failure ever could. And let's talk about failure, because it's coming for you. That's not a warning, that's a fact. Every great leader has failed miserably, publicly, painfully. The difference, they didn't stay down. They learned. They adapted. They got up and tried again. Leadership is not about never falling, it's about never staying down. Look around you. How many people do you see waiting for a leader? Waiting for someone to take charge, to bring direction, to make things happen? Be that person. Not because it's easy, not because it's glamorous, but because the world needs people who refuse to wait for someone else to step up. You will be doubted. You will be criticized. People will tell you you're too young, too old, too inexperienced, too ambitious. Ignore them. No one remembers the critics. People remember those who dared, those who risked, those who led. Leadership isn't given, it's taken. It's forged in struggle, built on resilience and fueled by action. So I'll ask you again, are you ready? Because the world isn't waiting. And neither should you. A title doesn't make you a leader. A business card, a fancy office, a badge, none of these mean anything if your actions don't back them up. Leadership isn't something you inherit or receive. It's something you prove day in and day out. Think about it, history is filled with people who had titles but no real influence. Kings who lost their kingdoms, CEOs who destroyed their companies, generals who led their armies to disaster. Why? Because they believed the title was enough. They thought leadership came with the position, not with the responsibility, and they were wrong. Real leaders don't wait for permission to lead. They don't sit back and say, that's not my job. When there's a problem, they step up. When things go wrong, they take responsibility. They don't just give orders, they set the standard. They lead by example. Look at any great leader and you'll see a pattern. They didn't start with a title. They started with action. They started by making decisions, taking risks, and doing the hard things no one else wanted to do. People followed them because of that, not because they had a nameplate on their door. And here's the truth, if you need a title to make people listen to you, you're not a leader. Real leadership earns respect without demanding it. It influences without forcing. It inspires without intimidation. So forget about chasing titles. Focus on what really matters, taking action, making a difference, and proving through your choices that you are someone worth following. Because leadership isn't about what's written on paper. It's about what's written in your actions. Comfort is easy, it's predictable, safe, and unchallenging. But nothing great has ever come from staying comfortable. Leaders know this. They don't choose the easy path, they choose the right one, even when it's hard, even when it hurts. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's feeling the fear and moving forward anyway. It's standing tall when your legs want to give out. It's speaking up when silence would be safer. It's making decisions when the outcome is uncertain. Most people run from discomfort. They avoid risk, dodge responsibility, and wait for someone else to step up. But leaders, they walk straight into the fire. They take the hit. They make the tough calls. Not because they're fearless, but because they refuse to let fear control them. Growth never happens in comfort. Strength isn't built in ease. The greatest leaders, the ones who change the world, are the ones who embrace the struggle, who understand that pain and progress are two sides of the same coin. So ask yourself when the moment comes, will you choose comfort? Or will you choose courage? Because only one of them leads to leadership. You can't force people to respect you. You can demand obedience, you can order compliance, but true respect, that's something you earn not with words, not with authority, but with actions. People don't respect the title. They respect character. They respect integrity. They respect those who prove time and time again that they are worthy of being followed. A leader who shouts for respect is already weak. The strongest leaders don't need to ask for it because their actions speak for them. They lead by example. They show up when it matters. They take responsibility when things go wrong and give credit when things go right. They treat others with fairness, no matter their rank, status, or background. Respect is built in the small moments when you listen instead of dismiss, when you stand firm on your values, when you do the right thing even when no one is watching. It's in how you handle pressure, how you treat people who can do nothing for you, and how you carry yourself when things fall apart. So don't waste time demanding respect. Be someone worth respecting. Let your work, your decisions, and your character make that clear. Because when respect is earned, it lasts. When it's forced, it fades. Failure is not the end. It's not a dead-end road, not a reason to quit, and definitely not a reflection of your worth. It's a lesson, a stepping stone, a necessary part of growth. Every great leader, every successful person you admire has failed repeatedly. They've made bad decisions, faced setbacks, and fallen flat on their face. The difference? They didn't let failure define them. They let it refine them. Failure is painful, no doubt about it. It stings, it embarrasses you. It makes you question yourself. But here's the truth. It's also one of the greatest teachers you'll ever have. It shows you where you need to improve. It forces you to adapt. It builds resilience. The problem isn't failure, it's the fear of it. Too many people never even try because they're afraid of failing. But leaders, they understand that success is built on failure. They know that every setback is just another step forward if they're willing to learn from it. So when you fail and you will, don't stop. Don't retreat, take the lesson, adjust your strategy, and keep moving. Because the only real failure is refusing to try again. You can try to control people. You can bark orders, demand obedience, and force compliance. But real leadership, it's not about control, it's about influence. Control is temporary. It creates fear, not loyalty. It makes people follow out of obligation, not belief. And the second you turn your back, that control slips away, because no one follows a dictator willingly. Influence, on the other hand, is powerful. It lasts. It's built on trust, respect, and the ability to inspire. When you influence people, they follow you because they want to, not because they have to. Think about the greatest leaders in history. They didn't control people, they inspired them. They led by example, earned trust through their actions, and made people believe in a vision bigger than themselves. If you want to be a true leader, stop trying to control everything. Instead, focus on building influence. Be someone worth following. Listen more than you speak. Understand more than you judge. Lead with conviction, not force. Because in the end, control fades, but influence lasts forever. Think back to the times you felt lost, unsure, stuck. Maybe you needed guidance. Maybe you needed someone to believe in you. Maybe you just needed someone to show you the way. Now ask yourself, are you becoming that person for someone else? Leadership isn't about waiting for the right mentor, the right boss, or the right inspiration to come along. It's about stepping up and being that person yourself. It's about embodying the qualities you once searched for: strength, integrity, vision, support. Too often people complain about bad leadership, but they never work to be better themselves. If you hated working under someone who was arrogant, dismissive, or selfish, don't be that kind of leader. If you wish someone had guided you when you were struggling, be the one who guides others now. The world needs leaders who listen, leaders who uplift, leaders who take responsibility and don't run when things get tough. It needs leaders who don't just crave power, but use it to make a difference. So don't wait for someone else to take the lead. Step up, set the standard. Be the leader you once needed, because somewhere, someone is looking for exactly that, and it might just be you. Leadership is not about titles. It's not about control, it's about action, it's about courage. It's about influence. The world is filled with people waiting for direction, waiting for someone to step up, waiting for a leader to show them the way. But real leaders, they don't wait. They rise, they take responsibility, they move forward even when the path is unclear. Yes, leadership is tough. It demands resilience, strength, and the willingness to fail and try again. But the reward, it's not just success, it's impact. It's the ability to inspire, to uplift, to change lives, not just your own, but those who follow you. So the question is not whether you can lead, it's whether you will. Because leadership isn't given, it's earned, it's taken. And it starts the moment you decide to step forward. Now, are you ready to take that step?